Welcome to the Fear the Final Girl podcast. I'm your host, Evan Derrick, and my co-host, Jamie, is unfortunately not able to join us. However, I have replaced her with my partner in crime, AJ Porfirio. Say hello, AJ.
Hello, everybody.
He is not as charming as Jamie, but he'll do in a pinch. And
we should put a poll out. I don't know. How do you know?
And this week, we are very excited to have another podcast hoster, Nathan Rouse, who hosts the podcast Fear of God. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Gen Con, our experiences with Gen Con this year. But we're also going, because Nathan's podcast is about horror movies, and as we also love horror movies, and AJ and I have had the opportunity to be on Nathan's Fear of God a number of times. We will probably also be discussing lots of horror movies too. I think that's probably in the cards. Start off, this is the section of the podcast where we just discuss what we've been watching, enjoying, playing, experiencing lately. So Nathan, we'll go ahead and start off with you. What I see your posts on Facebook all the time is just like, okay, this is my third, horror movie of September, my fifth movie of
I've actually backed off a little bit this year, but I don't know, they slip through the cracks. But what have I been checking out? So
I feel like sorry to interrupt, should we let Nathan tell everyone about his podcast and himself?
Oh, I guess we could do that. Fine, Nathan, if you must, tell us about yourself and your podcast.
Okay, I will do that. I'll go wherever y'all lead me. So, I'm here to be kind of the Ed McMahon or, Andy Richter of the group here. That's Ed McMahon. That's a real throwback. So, the Fear of God podcast, we've been around for 9 years. Kind of the tagline of the show is examining what scares us to find what saves us. We talk about horror movies real directly, and just kind of mine it for more thematic richness. It's not a genre that the casual onlooker might typically associate with deep things. So sometimes that's true. And even in the case where that is true, we still try to find something worth talking about and bring it to the surface. But there's a whole a vast ocean of horror genre that is very much about things and has things on its mind. So we kind of intersect all those things together and have been for about 9 years. If listeners are interested, you can check out the fearofgodpodcast.com and find all your favorite foggy things there. And yes, thank you to the two of you gentlemen who've been on numerous times at this point, to the point that you might recall when we covered, oh shoot, I wasn't planning to talk about it, so the name's eluding me. But it was the Leaky Boy. Y'all remember Leaky Boy, right?
We'll always have Leaky Boy.
We'll always have Leaky Boy. I think of him all the time.
When Evil Lurks?
When Evil Lurks. Yeah. There you go. I couldn't remember the title, but I could remember Leaky Boy because he's so
he's iconic.
He is.
It's Fear of God legend and mythology lore at this point.
Yeah, just go listen to the When Evil Lurks episode for the appearance of Leaky Boy. So yeah, that's roughly the Fear of God. And we kind of love what you guys at Van Ryder do and are excited to be alongside y'all's journey. As for things I've been sort of checking out lately, we're actually doing a bit of a mixed bag over the show. That's largely the things I watch or the things we talk about. But we just today interviewed a filmmaker, a guy named Bryn Cheney, who has a movie coming out tomorrow called Rabbit Trap. Rabbit Trap is a very moody, atmospheric kind of folk horror piece. I kind of loved it. It might be, it's real deliberate, kind of paced, little artsy fartsy, but uses sound design real expertly. So Rabbit Trap, I would recommend. I know the two of you have teenagers, I believe, and they're getting into the horror world. I just took my 14-year-old to the Jaws 50th anniversary screening about a week ago. She's my she's kind of getting into that ride or die for horror stuff, and so it was fun to be able to catch that on the big screen. Buddy. Yes, she is. Cool. And we did. I don't know if y'all have seen it yet. She and I just rewatched Clown in a Cornfield, so that's a good one.
I haven't seen Clown in a Cornfield yet.
It's fun. It's fun. Y'all will kind of dig it.
AJ, what about you?
I've been playing a fair number of games, actually. Played some Marvel Champions.
There you go.
Our friend Chad. Evan, you know Chad. And we had a really awesome game against Ultron. We played as I was Rogue and he was Phoenix. And we just had some really cool moments. And Dark Phoenix showed up and she kind of gets in your way. It was like a really huge hurdle to overcome. To the point where we were just finishing beating the first level of Ultron. Then you go to the second card. And I mean, it was looking like there was no way we could win. Really, it felt like no chance, but I'm not one to give up, and so we kept going, and we just started getting the right sequence of cards in our hands and able to pull off certain things and delay the end of the game because we were on a timer with Ultron's last scheme. Basically, you add two to it each time, and we were able to confuse him so that the scheming would not happen. And we were able to pull it off. So it was a very epic kind of game. I know you're a big fan of Marvel Champions, Nathan.
Oh, I love Marvel Champions, yeah.
It was just a really fun session and experience.
They just released and were showcasing at Gen Con the Trickster Takeover, this new Loki. It's like Enchantress cool. And Loki 2-pack. So me and one of my buddies played that recently, and it was a lot of fun too. But yeah, that's a great game.
Yep. What have I watched horror movie wise? I'm actually excited to see The Long Walk. I think I'm going to try to go see that this weekend. Yeah, I did finally watch Sinners, which I really liked and enjoyed. I was very late to the game on that one, I think, and but I really liked it. Yeah, that's a couple things I've been doing.
I think the last horror movie I saw in theaters was Weapons.
That's a good one.
A few weeks. So, what did you think of Weapons, Nathan?
Me?
No,
I know what you thought, AJ.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I went to so back in March or so, I kind of just finally pulled the trigger and got AMC A-List. So I kind of sneak away when I can and kind of see the new stuff. So. I'm excited for The Long Walk as well. But, yeah, snuck out to see Weapons. I loved Barbarian, so it's kind of ready to at least be entertained. And by the end, I loved it. It takes a minute to kind of not find its footing as in the quality suffers, but as in just it's a little slow up front, and you're kind of getting your bearings. But I loved it by the end, and it has in it. Did you see it too, AJ? I won't spoil it for listeners. But
I saw it.
The car scene. Do you remember this? When a character's asleep in the car. I mean, that's like a top 10 of the year. The audience was totally silent during that scene. It was incredible. So it was a real crowd pleaser. Oh, really? Well, yes. I'm sorry. They were very responsive, but as in there's about a 30-second moment where everyone's on the edge of their seat. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's how I experienced it. And there were a bunch of teenagers sitting in the back of the theater.
Oh, no.
And they burst into laughter during that scene. And I was mad.
At what point in the scene did they do that? Because some of that happened in my movie, but it wasn't until she was, cutting the hair already. So,
yes, it was that bit.
Okay, because all the point leading up to that, which I think is what Nathan's point is, it was like, oh my god, what is about to happen?
Oh no, they started laughing. They started laughing when they saw her walking.
Okay,
we're not spoiling it.
Yeah,
people who haven't.
Okay.
Seen it.
Well, I will say of Weapons real quick. I'm sorry. I will say of Weapons, it's probably some of the most fun I've had in the theater this year. Went an opening night, full crowd, full house. Everybody was engaged. People talking to the screen at the right times, laughing at the right times, kind of gasping at the right times. So no, it was a very fun experience for me.
Well, they were laughing at it, and I was frustrated at first. But as the movie progressed, I actually thought, "Oh no, I think they got it."
Yeah.
Because there is such a bizarre thread of humor that runs through the movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And especially when you get to the final scene, I just started laughing and laughing.
You kind of can't help but. It's so gonzo.
You can't help it. And then I went back and I've seen it twice now. I went back and watched that scene, the second time, watched that scene again, and I was just like, oh, I think they totally were seeing humor in this, because it actually is that sequence is kind of funny especially when you know what's going on.
I
Sure.
I just don't get that at all.
It's in the she's sitting there.
The end, I get why everyone's laughing at the
it
end.
just kind of slides in like this. It's really funny.
I could get nervous laughter. Yeah.
To me, there was nothing funny about that. I thought it was terrifying.
Oh yeah.
I did too the first time, but then as now I've seen the whole movie, I'm like, oh, I think laughter is actually, you can laugh at that. I think that's appropriate. I don't think the director would be like upset that people were laughing at that.
Maybe not.
Oh. Okay, so moving on. This is a Van Ryder Games podcast, and we do like to feature a game of the month. And the game of this month is Shriek, which is our newest feature film for Final Girl, and which we happen to have that we were selling at Gen Con. And AJ, why don't you tell us a little bit about Shriek?
Sure. So Shriek is a special feature film, which is a little different from our normal releases, which we call feature films. And it's a special feature film because it isn't part of any of the series, and it includes miniatures. It also has a foil logo on the front. So it's a little bit unique in that way. And this one in particular features the killer, Mort the Teenage Dirtbag, who is a mass killer who is running around the location, which is Mega Board Game Convention, and
very original.
donning the masks of other Final Girl killers. So this is a convention where everyone's cosplaying as Final Girl killers, and Mort is sort of running around donning those masks and taking victims because he just is an agent of chaos. But it's at a convention, right? And everyone's wearing costumes, so people aren't actually freaking out. They're not sure if this is a show or whatnot. They're enjoying the convention, and so there are mechanics in the game where you have to actually panic victims out of the exhibit area because they're having fun. Like, they're not willing to leave. They don't. Yeah, maybe that was just a show, right? Like, they're not sold that these are actually real deaths happening. So it is on the more complex end of our various Final Girl offerings. So there are some rules to it, but Final Girl veterans seem to not be having any problems digesting and implementing those. And it's really, I don't know, Evan, if you've looked out much, but it's getting really strong feedback and ratings, I think, from the fan base. So I think it might be sort of instantly rising to the top of Final Girl fans' favorite feature/special feature films. So we're excited about it. It's obviously brand new, and we're, as it's now out to all the people who did the summer release pre-order, of course, everyone who picked it up at Gen Con, and then now it's going to start showing up in retail stores and become widely available.
Yeah, so Shriek was our big Gen Con release this year. And so Gen Con is it's held in Indianapolis every year. How many attendees were there this year? 65, 70,000, something like that?
I was hearing 70, I think.
70? Okay.
Yeah.
So 70,000 gamers, nerds descend upon Indianapolis for what is called the best 4 days in gaming. And there's an exhibit hall, there's events, there's all kinds of stuff. So, Nathan, you were there. You were actually there. You and your cohort, Matt, who unfortunately was not able to join us today. You guys were both there. Was this your helping Van Ryder out? Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Was this your first Gen Con?
Yes, is the short answer. I need to shout out also friend Stephen Haregrove. It was his 40th birthday is coming, and so Gen Con, our attendance at Gen Con was largely to celebrate him and to kind of have the experience. The three of us are Marvel Champions heads. We get together a couple times a year because not everybody lives in the same locale, and just game the weekend away. So thought it'd be fitting to celebrate with Gen Con. And there's a lot that can be said because Mort and Shriek just came up. I think I'll start there because I got to hand it to you guys. You had the room set up, and y'all can describe that in the level of detail you want or not. But you had folks dressed up as some of your characters, one of whom was Mort. Now, your room was positioned pretty well in the kind of geography of everything as a central meeting place for our little cohort. And specifically, one afternoon, after putting in my hours at the Van Ryder booth, which was all fun, no work whatsoever, I texted our guys, like, I'm going to be right outside the Van Ryder room. Come find me there. So, y'all, I'm standing there, and my back is to the wall. The door to the room is to my right, and I'm looking off to the left because I need to use the bathroom real bad. I'm waiting on people to meet up with me. I'm just wondering, where are you? And I have no clue how long this was going on. But finally, I just happened to glance to my right, and there is I'm 6'2", rather large human, this slight but ever so intimidating presence of Mort, the teenage dirtbag, staring right at my face, probably about 8 inches from me. I have no idea how long they were there, but it was a very, very effective use of the whole shtick. And so I was both alarmed and proud of, in this case, Mort. But yeah, I had never been to Gen Con before. I've done shows, or rather I've been to like Comic-Con and things like this, insofar as large throngs of people occupying a convention floor. But, I'll express gratitude to you guys for letting us camp out of the booth and kind of participate in that way. Because that was, y'all, hopefully y'all will be heartened by this. I came back from Gen Con and told my wife, I was like, man, I just had a really great time working the booth. Like, my background is in retail. I work in sales vocationally. So it was kind of this perfect blend of, kind of customer facing. You're pitching a thing that you really believe in and find fun and think others will find fun too. And, I just really enjoyed that aspect of it. So gratitude to you guys for permitting our participation there. But yeah, Gen Con was incredible. I'm happy to go into other side stories and details, but as a blanket note, we had a great time and kind of want to go back. Will life work out that way? I don't know yet, but definitely came away from it thinking, how can we get back and do this again?
That's awesome.
No sad stories from Gen Con. It's all happy and fun.
No sad stories.
Did you find the size of it? I guess if you've been to Comic-Con dwarfs Gen Con, so I would assume probably the size of it wasn't particularly overwhelming or intimidating.
No, but one, it's been several years since I've done Comic-Con, so you kind of forget. But it was pretty staggering once you even start to comprehend just how big a footprint it has. Mm-hmm. I'm not a sports person whatsoever, so Lucas Oil Stadium means nothing to me. But to then understand, like, oh, wait a minute, it both occupies the entirety of the convention center and the entire, floor of this giant NFL stadium. I think it's NFL. Don't come at me,
sports fans.
Okay, good.
I am a sports guy. You're doing good. Keep going.
Yes, good. So no, the sheer scope of it. Now, I think had we really set out to do a ton, it might have gotten pretty overwhelming and intimidating. But really, our rhythm of our experience was kind of be at the booth, the kind of pre-noon time, kind of go explore, demo, play some stuff in the afternoon, and then we were the old farts who'd kind of retire to the hotel at 9:00 and play the games we'd purchased of that day, and that was a lot of fun for us to kind of do that. But y'all will get a kick out of this story. I can't remember. I may have told you in person. I don't remember. I need to look up their name. But so the gateway to some of this stuff was I love movies. So co-host of the Fear of God, Reed Lackey, he and I've known each other for 25 plus years. He says, "Hey, you want to do this horror movie podcast?" I say, "Sure." I've always liked games, but it was Gory Gamer of the Fear of God, Matt Murray, who has been referenced a couple times, that started getting me into the world of the board game, which is a pretty vast space once you start to understand it. So kind of stepping into all these places, and honestly, y'all are kind of my anchor point for the deepest places that the board game world goes, right? Like, it's not just your, I'm being reductive here, but your Scrabbles and Monopolies, right? Once you're past that layer, there's a very deep well of what's out there, and y'all have been that anchor point for me. So I'd say that to say my ignorance is high on a lot of the kind of personalities and just content creators that are out there. I don't know, because I didn't get into it from that standpoint. So that's a setup to illustrate that. One of these afternoons, Matt and Steven and I are roaming the convention floor, and we come to Restoration Games, who does Unmatched, which I've become a big fan of, and various other games. But specifically, they were demoing this game called Battle Monsters. Did y'all see this? Are you familiar with this at all?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I missed it, but
it's a re-theme of
yeah. I think it's called Battle Monsters.
I mean, that's what they do.
One.
Yeah, it's what Restoration does. Maybe that's the same name. Yeah.
But the premise is it's, kind of the Godzilla universe, right? And so the literal playing field is a giant map set up, and then two giant, I would say minis, but they're very large. And in this case, it was Godzilla and one of the other monsters in Godzilla's universe. So we're playing this demo, and y'all have known me enough at this point to know Nathan can get energetic and exciting, but you haven't seen me in a game zone. I'm not a sports brain, but I am a competitive brain, gamer guy. So I can get very big and bold. Well, when you put me in control of giant kaiju, the big Nathan comes out, right? So
the
we're demoing.
Monster comes out.
Yes, the Nathan monster, Kaiju Rouse, comes out to play. So we're demoing this game, really getting into it, rolling die and attacking. And shout out, I don't know his last name, but David, who was demoing the game, he was great. Well, several, as happens on a giant convention floor, several just people would come and observe for a few minutes, and I'd kind of interact with them. This is Nathan's sales extrovert guy, right? Well, one of them was a gentleman videoing the thing, videoing us doing the demo. Well, again, remember that Nathan does not know the personalities that occupy this world. And I get real big and start talking to his camera, right? Just like, hey, I'm not going to do what I did, but it was like, tell your people, come play Battle Monsters, kind of doing some shilling for him. And so he walks away, and I say to Matt, I was like, haha, that's gonna end up on some YouTube channel, somebody's vlog. That what I just did is going to go out because I was being stupid me. And Matt says to me, he's like, you don't know who that was? No, I don't know who that was. So it turns out it was Mike Delisio of the Dice Tower. So So I had no idea who it was. And sure enough, gentlemen, your boy Nathan Rouse of the Fear of God podcast ended up on their roundup day of the first day of Gen Con video. It was hysterical. I sent it to all my people. I said, look, I made it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
I'll have to
had a grand time. What about y'all? Awesome. What was your Gen Con experience like this year?
Well, go ahead, AJ.
I mean, first off, I want to give you and Matt and some kudos, because you guys were a big help in the booth. This was by far our busiest Gen Con ever. So whatever you thought about it, I'm sure you thought it was pretty busy. Like, that's busier than we have ever personally been in our booth. I've been saying to everyone, like, I'm fairly certain we did not have a single 5-minute period where someone wasn't shopping and buying something, which is pretty common for most of the convention, but at the end of the days and on Sundays, it tends to sometimes slow down. You may have even 10 or 15, 20 minutes with a little slow period. We had none of that this year.
It's awesome.
It was nonstop from beginning to end. And so, you know, we had talked a lot before the convention, and mostly I was kind of giving you what tips I could, but we didn't give you a lot of guidance. Like, so I was very appreciative that you guys kind of just came and like jumped in and figured out how to best help as you could.
Sure.
Because I mean, the fact of the matter is, we simply don't have time to sit there and go, "Okay, Nathan,
right,
here's what you're gonna do, and this is this game. I'm gonna explain every game we have to you." And like, you guys did such a great job, and you know, obviously, you know, Final Girl, but you helped with all the other things as well. And so, and it was a little bit of a loose agreement we had, as you know. I was kind of like, you know, when it slows down, you know, around lunchtime or whatever, and you guys I wanted to make sure you guys had time to enjoy the show. It was like you guys were kind of free to go when you wanted, but you ended up on some days, I think, staying for quite some time into the afternoon or coming back,
sure,
and helping in the afternoon, which was awesome. Like, and so it was great having you guys. Like, Gen Con is by far my favorite show. I love it, and so it makes me happy to hear that you guys were happy, being in the booth, but also that you enjoyed your time just kind of seeing the spectacle and getting to play some games here and there. So, thanks for your help.
Yes, absolutely. And it was literally not work. It was very much fun and play. And, you know, to your credit, you kind of, we talked through some of those things in terms of timing and all that sort of stuff. But Evan, it's sad Matt's not here, because Matt, one particular day, so again, Matt's who got me into Final Girl, is an ardent advocate for you guys. Well, Matt's also a diehard Dark Quarter head, and he was positioned rather well in the booth in that corner where Dark Quarter was, because so two notes here to compliment him on that front is he was able to just sling Dark Quarter left and right and speak knowledgeably.
And we were only selling bundles, so he was selling full bundles.
Yeah. So there was that, and then one particular day, you know, we had kind of our time had ended for the day in terms of commitment to the booth, and he wanted to hang out a little longer. I was like, okay, that's fine. Y'all, at like 5 p.m., I still hadn't heard from him. He's not responding to his texts. I'm like, I know he's fine. He's an adult in the world who knows how to maneuver, but should I be worried? And we wandered back over there, and he is still just planted like a tree, slinging some Dark Quarter, slinging some Final Girl. He was in his zone. It was really fun to see. But
really was.
But yeah, y'all. Well, kudos to you guys. You make it easy to support your work, and you make it easy to be a fan and share that fandom. So I mean, that's no skin off our back whatsoever. Like I said, I mean, if anything, we're like, how do we get back here? It's very Gen Con is very different than our mode of typical weekend, which is the three of us go find a mountain retreat somewhere and just from sun up to sundown and beyond play whatever board game, whether it's Arkham Horror or Marvel Champions or Final Girl, while the other two are playing something different. You know, so Gen Con is very different than that, but it is absolutely very much a joy to be a part of that.
One of the things that we had new this year was we not only had a booth, we also had a room, which you were mentioning, Nathan. And I think the Mort in particular that was probably stalking you would have been my son.
I figured it was one of y'all's progeny.
So both my kids, my son Jacob took on the role of Mort. We had another Mort, but he did Mort a lot of the time, and if he was up in your face, it was probably him.
Well, give him props, because my background's in the theater. I don't know if y'all know that, and so someone knowing how to kind of hold the bit and when to lean in or not, like he did a good job.
My kids are both theater kids, so
there you go. Makes sense.
My daughter played the Tormentor, and then Jacob's kids did Razorface and Hans. Well, I think one of the
kids. Jacob doesn't have kids.
Sorry, AJ's kids did.
It's like, wow, it felt like new information.
That's right. It was not only my children, but also my grandchildren.
One day,
the whole legacy. But Yeah, I think one of them did Dr. Fright, but you guys did not seem to enjoy having the Dr. Fright mask on for longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean the silicone masks they're amazing and they move with your body, but they are kind of tight. Like speaking from experience, like after wearing it for a half hour, even ears start to really hurt. It's like jamming your ears against your head, and you're sweating inside that thing. So it's hard to keep. I mean, Caleb kept Razorface on for extended periods, which I was very impressed with. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Evan, because I wanted to mention that's something that made this Gen Con very special for me. Is that it's the first time my family has come with me. So we've been doing this over 10 years now, and having them come and participate, get to be some of our final girl killers and have fun on their own end. Caleb, my son, is also in theater like Evan's kids, and William, he just loves anything and everything horror. So, and Leo didn't wear the costumes, but he was helping us in the booth quite a bit, and so that was just a real treat. And my wife Jessica, of course, was there as well. And so that was, I'm not sure if that'll be something we'll be able to do every year. It's probably, something we do now and then. I'm not sure. But it was really nice. And if nothing else, them getting to see kind of what we do, because we always go back and tell them, oh, Gen Con, and get to tell them what it's like and how cool it was, but also how much work it is. And so for them to see and participate in that, I mean, there were a lot of moments of, oh yeah, you're not lying. Like setup day is a lot of work and it's hot, and like you're not just here just playing games and
right,
not doing work. So like, it was just good for them to see all of that, and it meant a lot that they were there.
Yeah, Emily, my daughter, was standing next to me, and I think it must have been a run of moments when people came up and were talking to me about the game and like excited about the game, and then a number of them wanted me to sign things, which that makes me sound like a bigger deal than I actually am. I'm not really that big of a deal, but there are some people who would like AJ and I to sign stuff. Anyway, a bunch of them came right in a very compressed moment of time when my daughter happened to be standing there, and she looks over at me and she goes, "Oh, so you are kind of a big deal."
That's awesome. That's very cool.
I was like, yeah, your dad's kind of awesome.
That is very cool. That's very cool. I wish my kids would tell me that. I'm just kidding.
Well, it only took 17 years, Nathan.
Right. Yeah.
Oh wait, you've got a 17-year-old.
I do. She just turned 17, so we're in the thick of things, that's for sure. But they are very affectionate, so that's good. I can't complain about that. I am one of the few in the house who gets into the games, which is why Final Girl entered my life the way it did. Is okay, well, fine. Dad will go find something to play by himself. Exactly. So there's that. I will say, and giving y'all some props here, deviating from the Final Girl of it all, is Dragon Clans. Definitely in the week or two post Gen Con was a big hit with me and the 8-year-old, and even my wife. Shout out Tracy, who just. If it's got even the most baseline level of complexity to the game, she just does not want to give brain power to it, so rarely will indulge. But it was kind of like, look at the art. Look, they're so cute. And look, it's literally just rolling some dice. Yeah, just rolling some dice and picking some cards out. You can do it. And so she played, and we all had a grand time playing some Dragon Clans for a while. It's a good game.
You've already mentioned a few of your interactions, but for what was your favorite interaction of Gen Con?
Well, one of the things we all did together, which isn't exactly what you're asking, but was the group event with Meg one night, the kind of everybody plays together sort of things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. So that was really fun. But in terms of just the explicit answer to interactions, I'm going to shout him out. So if this gentleman ever listens to this, his name's John Brown. I know that because I'm a big fan of John Brown, the historical figure. Look him up if you don't know him. But one day at the booth, this elder gentleman came by, and we started chatting, and again, like, how I feed my family is being an extroverted salesperson. So, like, just talking to strangers is very easy for me. And so I try to, kind of imbue that with some, just warmth and, oh, you're over here to talk about Final Girl, and started pitching him on the game. And we just had a really great interaction, that, again, sweet older gentleman, I think he bought, oh, yes, this is the fun of that story, is he bought one of the Ultimate boxes. And somehow in the moment, I was like, oh, but also this, Mort, is new for the show too. And he's like, okay, but please stop doing that. Like, stop selling me on it, because it's working. But we had a really great interaction. And then later in the show, he brought his adult son, over to the booth, and kind of got to meet him. And just so in terms of just kind of the public facing part, that was a really fun interaction, if I'm not thinking of anything else off the top of my head. But yeah, I would say meeting John Brown and his adult son, whose name eludes me at the moment. For y'all, do you I know it's on a certain level, a very organized thing, or organized chaos at least. Are there things at each of these big shows that do you get new ideas? Do you see, okay, well, X thing worked, not necessarily the booth stuff, but as in just, like you mentioned, crowd control. I mentioned it, you named it, but the stuff like crowd control, stuff like the characters, are there takeaways that you're like, oh, this thing worked, let's do more of that, or that thing didn't work, let's do less of that, in a general sense?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We do a debrief almost after every convention, where we discuss what went well, what we thought we could be improved upon, what didn't go well, what could be better, how to change things for next year, especially for Gen Con. Specifically for this year, our room was a huge hit.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was a big plus. Sometimes we try different things at conventions, and they kind of fall flat on their face. It's like, well, we're not doing that again. But this year we had a lot of success with a lot of the things we were doing. The costumes, those were a big hit. It pulled in a lot of people into the room. We were on the local news even.
That's cool.
Because they were just wandering around looking for something interesting to shoot, and they saw our kids standing in like creepy horror outfits outside the room, and they were like, well, this looks visually interesting. So we did a whole thing with the news. So that room was, I think, a big hit in terms of people getting to not only demo Shriek, but also just kind of see a lot of the idea was for it to be a little bit of like a haunted house, and we kind of pushed that as far as we could, given the constraints of what we could do at Gen Con. But that was a big plus, and so I think we're definitely going to be doing that again next year.
So that was the first time kind of doing.
Yeah, that was the first time we had a room.
Yeah.
So traditionally,
the year before, we had our events were out on the stadium that you had talked about. The stadium,
okay.
Which is fine, but there's much less traffic, organic traffic. Like we had both, obviously, all of our people coming in our events, but also people, like Evan said, just wandering in the room. And we had a really nice second sort of point of sale location there, where we had shelves of all the Final Girl stuff, and that the room was Final Girl centric. And then, of course, the booth, we have Final Girl, but we also have we have a lot of other games that we're most known for Final Girl, but I mean, we do have quite a few other games that we also then have at the booth. So just kind of having that extra space, like at Gen Con, space is a premium. I mean, the exhibit floor, every year there's a waiting list, and people who can't get in, and current exhibitors want to increase space, us included. And so getting another space to do your events and also have sales, particularly the ones that we could be open both before and after the exhibit hall. It was just really an awesome thing for us to have. But ultimately, the room was about the experience. I mean, we literally called it the Final Girl Experience. And so our hope was that people who interacted with the room, came in the room, even walked by the room, got kind of a cool, positive experience. And there were just so many of those great moments. I mean, our kids loved telling us the stories of how the adults were the ones that were scared and the kids were like, ooh, a character, like, let me take a picture with you and give you a hug. Like,
that's hilarious.
Kids were just like, I mean, there was a little girl, I can't remember, but she basically like fell in love with who was it, Mort, or was it?
Yeah, she fell in love with Mort.
Yeah, like,
and she came by every day and wanted to take pictures with the ghost man. She wanted to take pictures with the ghost man every day, and my son was the one who took most of the pictures with her, and then she came back on the last day and he wasn't there. We didn't have Mort, and she's like 3.5, and so she wanted to see the ghost man. And so I said, turned to her mom and I said, okay, hold on one second. So I grabbed the hoodie and I grabbed the mask and I ran into the back and put it on and came back out. And so and got it so she could take pictures with her new favorite guy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The ghost man.
That's so funny.
It was very cute.
Yeah.
Well, so Gen Con was awesome. If we all really enjoyed it, had a great time. But so you, Nathan, your podcast is about horror movies. We love horror movies. So let's switch over and talk about a little bit about horror, which
let's do it.
How many episodes have you done, Nathan?
Oh my goodness. I don't know the precise number, but we just in August we celebrated 9 years, and a few months back we crested 400 episodes. So I don't.
Okay, so
we're probably in the 410s or something right now.
How many hours of content do you think?
Oh my gosh.
1,200, 1,300, 1,500?
Well, let's say we average about an hour and a half per episode, and even that's a little conservative. So 600.
Okay.
That's like
Evan's like giving you a math quiz right now.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm like, I didn't plan for that.
So how many minutes though, Nathan? Let's talk about how many minutes.
How many microseconds of content?
Oh no! I said theater degree, not Goodness gracious.
So what is a horror movie trope or I don't know, genre that you have really enjoyed recently and you'd like to see more of?
That is a good question. Well, what I'm doing right now is trying to pull up, because my memory at this age is, evaporating quickly, and so I'm trying to remember what exactly we've covered lately.
I thought you were going to say a calculator. So you could do the calculations.
No.
You're like, I'm still trying to figure out this minutes thing.
Yeah.
Nanoseconds of content.
Yeah, the microseconds. Now, what are those again? I would say, kind of surprising myself, I mentioned at the top of our conversation about watching this film, Rabbit Trap, and we did a series a couple years ago on folk horror, for anyone who might be familiar with that kind of subgenre. We called
what would be a couple examples?
Well, some signature ones are one that's called Blood on Satan's Claw, and probably the most famous one would be The Wicker Man, most known for the goodness gracious Christopher Lee film from years and years ago.
Or are you not talking about the incredible Nicolas Cage?
Not the Nicolas Cage version. That one has
Bees!
That one gives yes. We definitely had fun with that one, but
Is
no,
that where that
I'm not
comes
referring
from?
to that one.
I
Yes,
did not.
covered in bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bees!
The other, so what's largely considered the kind of trinity of those films is The Blood on Satan's Claw, Wicker Man, and Witchfinder General. Now, those are all interesting in their own right, but this film, Rabbit Trap, re-put to mind for me. So the notion of folk horror just being this idea that you've encroached on a thing that you are not meant to be tampering with, and not in the like slasher zone, but in the it's often got a religious bent to it. It's often got a spiritual sort of flavor to it. There's another film that I think, from South Korea called The Medium that we covered as part of that series too. That was really good. So I like that a lot. I'm kind of a fan of something with a little bit of thought behind it, not just pure hack and slash. That immediately comes to mind for me when you ask the question, kind of what subgenre
There's some
be a fan of
good
these days.
Modern examples of that as well. I'd say the Midsommar, especially.
Yes.
And I know AJ really likes The Witch or the Vitch. The Vitch.
Are you not a fan?
I actually didn't. I liked the mood and the tone it set, but when it got to the end, I was just like, meh. It didn't really do it for me.
That's a dark movie. Yes,
I
that is absolutely folk horror.
Midsummer and Hereditary also.
Yeah.
Not just that one.
I did, so y'all, you mentioned Midsommar, Hereditary. Ari Aster, who made those two, also just released Eddington, which is, have either of you seen that yet?
Nope, have not seen Eddington. I saw Beau is Afraid, which has soured me a little bit on Ari Aster's work.
Especially that middle run. Now, what's funny about Beau is Afraid is it is one of those movies that, or one might say pieces of art, that pushes you past. You're like, okay, I'm interested. This is weird. And then by the middle, you're like, this is terrible. Please get me out. And then it just keeps going. And you're like, by the end, for me at least, by the end of it, I was like, okay, I think I kind of love you now. I could maybe from a runtime standpoint excise that middle 30 minutes. But I had some grand, that is a crazy movie. Eddington is not like that narratively at all. It's very rooted in the real world. And I think Evan might pull you back towards at least an appreciation for what he's after. It's a very smart movie. So that was
I thought you sounded like you might have been describing some of my old relationships.
I'll let you work that one out. I don't know.
My endearing thought after watching Beau is Afraid was, Ari Aster would rather make a movie than go to therapy.
That is probably very true. Yes, that is definitely at work in there. I'm trying to look at my...
That is a man working out his issues with his mom on the big screen.
For good or ill. I loved 28 Years Later. I don't know if y'all have seen that one yet.
I really liked it.
I also... I didn't like it at all.
From what standpoint?
Because he doesn't like good movies.
Oh, shut up. That is clearly not true. Sitting down, from a filmmaking standpoint, I found that a lot of the techniques that Danny Boyle used were some of the same techniques he used back in the early 2000s with 28 Days Later, and I don't like a lot of the digital shaky cam. Mm-hmm. I mean, they filmed it on iPhones, for crying out loud. And then a lot of the music choices I felt were so... It felt like the filmmaking style had not aged well. Okay. And so just from a presentation standpoint, I found myself getting frequently annoyed. I remember I can't remember one song came on, and I was just like... What the hell is this song? Why is this song playing right? This doesn't make any sense to me at all. And so there's that. And then after, he and his son go out and then make it back, which up until that run of them across the water, which was up until that, I was totally into it. But after that, I just felt the movie, at least in terms of where it was going, I didn't understand where it was going,
Sure.
I think I expected more of a through line with the plot. And it was just kind of this meandering, like, the boy, it's almost kind of like a coming of age kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was expecting something different, and I kept thinking, where's this going? What are we doing? What, tell me. And then you get to the end, and there's that end sequence with I don't even with the Jimmies or whatever it is, and it is so out of place. I was just like, well, that is just the perfect cap to this movie. Was just like,
in your defense, those first 15 minutes are pretty jarring. Like, there are some choices that get made visually that yes, if they push you out, you may not return. And the first time I saw it, I've seen it twice now. The first time I saw it, I was very turned off. I enjoyed the bulk of it, and then the Jimmies pushed me out, which is a sentence you don't just get to say every day.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I think you might have threatened to lose me there. I still think for me that should have been like, because it's a, they're setting up a sequel.
Right.
I wish that had been like a mid-credit scene and just leave me with Spike, the young boy's character. But I would encourage you, Evan, to go listen to the Fear of God episode on 28 Years Later. Maybe it will open your heart a little bit. Because, I don't know, for me personally, by the time... Now, AJ, have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I personally love Ray Fiennes and his character in that role by the end. I think he's just powerful to listen to, talk, see on screen, and some of the themes they're going for in it, I was very taken with. But... there's also a lot of zombie genitalia in it, and that might not be everybody's cup of tea.
You know what? The zombie. Oh yeah, I did see a funny poster. I was like, or a text that said the movie really should have been called 28 Inches Later.
Yeah. I did love. I don't know if y'all saw this. I loved. Bloodlines, Final Destination Bloodlines. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that was a good one.
I took Evan on a date.
Okay, good. I got you back on.
Yeah. I saw that one twice too.
Yeah. We every fall, every spooky season, we cover a franchise on the show. We started with Halloween, then we did Scream, then we did Alien. This year we're doing Final Destination because of that one. That one I took my 14-year-old to, and man, we had a blast. That was such a fun experience. Fun. Yeah. It really tests your like humanity when you're like rejoicing at some of the very particular. I won't name them, but there's a kill or two that happens, and they're like, "Yes, got him!" You're like, oh, "Am I okay?"
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That movie was it was just so much better than it had any right to be.
Yes,
the Final Destination
absolutely.
movies have always been this kind of schlocky, like you're just there for the kills and what kind of crazy kill are they going to do, and they actually roped in mythology and like managed to tie all the other movies in a way that kind of organically made sense.
Yeah,
and then gave what's his name, the actor who recently passed away, who was in it.
Oh, Tony Todd.
Tony Todd. Yeah.
Tony Todd, they gave him, like, that was his, like, swan song.
Yeah,
apparently the last line where he turns to face them was just totally ad-libbed.
Oh, wow.
It was the director saying to him, what would you like to, like, say to the fans on your way out?
That's cool.
And anyway, so it was just way better than it had any right to be. I thought it was an absolute blast.
I saw it well before Evan, actually, and I hyped it up pretty big time. I was like a little worried. I was hyping it up too much, but then you loved it as.
Oh, it was great.
You should.
Any other standouts for y'all this year?
Weapons, certainly.
Yeah. Yep.
Gosh, I have such a hard time remembering.
Sure, I get it.
I know I have to Google
now.
horror movies that have come out in 2025. Horror.
I'm actually disheartened that I've not been able to see Weapons a second time. Like, I came out of it thinking, man, I want to get back to that.
See, I liked it, but I was just kind of okay. Like, I don't feel like that's one I need to see again.
Yeah.
Final Destination I watched multiple times. I would watch. I think 28 Years is about to be out on one of the streamings next week. I think I'm definitely gonna watch that again.
The monkey was
That was a good one. That was fun.
Which is Final Destination adjacent.
Yeah,
but with
it's like a worse version of it.
More humor. It's
sure.
Definitely Final Destination. Is not necessarily played for humor. It kind of is sometimes, but it tends to take itself, the kills, seriously, even though they're inherently ridiculous how they come about.
You know, what's funny about you saying that is, so I haven't seen 2 through 5. I've only seen the first one, and then I didn't like it. Yeah, and then because Bloodlines was getting such positive buzz, and I knew they're relatively disconnected from each other, I just took a chance and, went and saw it. So having rewatched 1 now, just 3 nights ago for our show, if you watch it as though it's comedy, you actually get more out of it. Because I don't know, I do not have a fond memory for that first film. We covered it once before on the show, and actually my opening line is like, "This movie sucks" or something like that. But yeah, I mean, if you watch it like looking to enjoy it from a fun standpoint more than a horror standpoint, it has more rewards that way. For the first
especially since like it's now very tame.
Yeah,
if you go watch that one compared to what's followed, and so it's kind of like hasn't quite. I mean, it still stands up. Like it's just a great. The premise is just great.
Yeah. What's the last one you introduced one of your kids to?
Oh, the latest one for sure.
No, I mean movies. Period. Horror movies. Period.
Oh, my kids actually just went and saw the new Conjuring. I didn't go. My older two, and they really liked it. But I don't know. I mean, they're my older two are definitely into horror, so they'll go watch movies with me or with their friends, and they do a pretty good job watching some different stuff. So they did give the thumbs up to that one.
Okay.
I showed my kids The Shining.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Penny, my 14-year-old, is asking for that one. I did show her Get Out recently. That's a good one.
So, so Nathan, what movie got you into horror movies? Or what's your earliest memory of a horror movie?
So, I always enjoyed genre stuff. I don't know that until our podcast started in 2016 that I would have said I was as ardent a horror fan as I've become. But my kind of gateway was The X-Files. I adore that show from the early into the late 90s. So, it riffs on kind of everything. That was probably my, other than just random kind of spooky stuff that, I can't really recall at this point. Like I didn't have any linchpin films that kind of clicked and turned me into who I've become right now. But X-Files did a lot of heavy lifting to get me into that world.
For me, it was Scream.
Okay.
Scream was the first R-rated horror movie I saw all by myself.
Yeah. Well, now Scream does have a special place in my heart, though, it came out when I was late in high school, so a little later than, shout out co-host Reed, who's watching Psycho at like 7 years old or something, so I didn't have that level of formative experience, but nonetheless. Scream had a real powerful position in my history because as a high school senior, I created a movie as part of my what's called then senior project called Shout, which was a comedic riff on Scream where the killer killed people using Shout laundry detergent. Yes, it was, it was that absurd. But because of that experience, we had the Ghostface mask in our possession for a run of months in my senior year of high school, and we got a lot of use out of that, kind of scaring each other and scaring family members and getting the cops calling on us because we were shooting this film late at night in neighborhoods and that kind of thing and being loud. Probably not the thing you should do today, listener, but back in the late 90s, it was a little more permissive.
Well, also, funny enough, in the late 90s, specifically 1998, when I was a freshman in college, I also had a ghost face outfit. And I would terrorize the people in my hall. I would get my girlfriends, as in friends who were girls, not that I was dating multiple girls, my friends who were girls, to set up their roommates. The clarity.
Yeah.
To set up their roommates. And at one point, I scaled the side of the girls' dorm up to the second floor and hung off of their ledge.
Oh my gosh!
And got the girl to to get her roommate to come up, tapped on the window and got her to come over and just pulled myself up. It literally scared the absolute bejesus out of her. So again, as Nathan said, please do not do this in today's day and age. It probably would not go very well. Or
at least just with members of your household. So for instance, right now, I don't know if you can see it. This is a bejeweled Scream mask, ghost face that my 14-year-old bedecked, and we're a Taylor Swift house as much as we're a horror house, and so she bejeweled this Scream mask, and I have used that to terrorize my own children a few times, and it's grand fun. But yeah, no, I didn't hang out inside anyone's window, but we did have a buddy hide in someone's trunk, in their car trunk in the late 90s with it on. I terrorized my brother, who does not like horror movies, and he the F-bomb that he elicited when I scared him still echoes through the halls of our childhood home. I mean, it was so epic.
So we do like to try to do something fun sometimes at the end of the podcast. So I have a horror movie quiz.
Oh boy.
We can see, and I don't know the answers to these questions. Thank you, ChatGPT. So we can see which of us know the most about modern horror films.
Okay.
And I set it up as what is that? What is that?
I don't think I have any chance, but sure.
So the first 4 are supposed to be easy, and then medium, and then hard. So there's 12 questions. All right. So, all right, you ready? We'll all get our answer. We'll know our answer, and then we'll say we'll just use the honor system and say whether we got it right or not.
Okay.
All right. So 1, in Happy Death Day, the main character is forced to relive what day over and over again?
Are we saying these out loud, or we're just okay?
Okay, well, right.
Do we have to hit a buzzer?
Is it first to
the
it?
The rules have not been explained.
All right, so the rules have not been explained. All right, so we'll wait.
I gotta take everything I can get. I'm sorry, Nathan, too slow.
Okay.
Well, he just said the honor system, so I assumed we might be writing it down. Else I would have said, her birthday!
I guess we could just shout it out.
Let's do it.
Shouts it out first.
We can write it down. I did not understand the rules, so I apologize.
All right, tell you what. We'll just have
that first one.
All right. Fine. We'll have it. I'll just read, and you guys just play, and it'll be whoever shouts it out first.
Okay. So no more writing, AJ.
All right, ready?
Now we are shouting.
Okay.
Birthday!
Oh, boy.
All right.
Just shout something random.
Which comedian turned director created the hit horror films Get Out and
Jordan
Us?
Peele.
Ooh. Oh, AJ. A little slow there. All right.
What? The host is trolling me?
Yeah, it looks like it.
You're a terrible host.
All right, it's 1-1. Hey, we'll give you your happy birthday. All right,
sure.
Your happy birthday one. All right. In Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the stories in the haunted book begin to do what to the characters who read them?
Come to life.
Kill them.
Scare them. Oh, yeah, that probably makes sense. Terrorize them?
The stories in the haunted book begin to write themselves and then come true.
Oh.
So
I said come to life.
Come to life? Yeah, that works.
Sorry, AJ.
All right.
That's a badly written question. Is that you?
Thanks,
Blame ChatGPT.
Yeah, we will. For a lot.
If we get it wrong, just blame Evan.
Yeah, okay.
All right, 2-1.
Okay.
In It...
Wait, who got 2?
Yeah, Nathan.
He was giving me grace for come to life.
Get
out
of here.
You said kill them? That didn't happen.
Yeah, you said kill them.
Fine.
That was wrong.
I didn't say I got it right, but I didn't think you got it right either.
Half a point. Half a point.
In It, Pennywise the Clown mainly terrorizes a group of children in what fictional town?
Dadgummit.
2-2. All right.
It's one of my favorite books of all time.
Now we're into the medium difficulty.
Oh, goodness.
Can you name Pennywise's human name, AJ?
These are medium? Ugh.
The new one or the old one?
No, the character's name. His name. Not Pennywise.
What?
His, like, human name. It's like Robert Gray.
No, I don't remember that.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. I was just trying to show off.
In Hereditary...
Thanks for taking me down a notch. That's totally not part of the game, Nathan. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Forgive me. Carry on, Evan. Quickly.
Ooh, you think you're big stuff here. What's the fourth word on the 7th page?
Oh,
Nathan?
man. Oh, man.
All right.
Okay.
In Hereditary, what miniature art form does Annie create that mirrors her mental collapse?
Dioramas.
Is it
Dollhouses?
dioramas or dollhouses?
What does it say?
Aren't they mini dioramas?
You're the
Miniature
moderator
that
there.
she creates miniature dioramas.
There you go.
You don't even know the answers to your own questions.
They're not.
-1 point for you.
All right, AJ has 3, Nathan has 2. All right. In Midsommar, what European country is home to the disturbing Midsummer
Norway.
Festival?
Oh, crap. I think I'm wrong. I
Oh,
can't
Nathan,
answer twice, can I?
No.
Okay.
I
know it. Do I get a second chance if he misses?
No, you do not.
no.
Well, there's a timer. Let's go.
For the
Sweden.
Google it.
Sweden is correct.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's neck and neck. 3-3. All right. In The Invisible Man, what is Cecilia's partner's profession? Explaining his ability to
Cop.
turn invisible.
Oh, he's a engineer. He's like a futurist. He's he's a evil Tony Stark.
You're just saying like 20 words. He's a scientist, a lawyer, or a tax accountant, or
Why are you yelling?
A salesperson.
You're gonna blow out your mic.
He is an optics engineer.
Oh, I said engineer.
You did say engineer.
And 15 other words.
Well, in my defense, the reason I said cop is I couldn't remember the lead's name, and I was referring to her sister's husband, who is the cop.
All right, I think
in my defense, the reason I said Norway is because I was trying to be fast, but I didn't get to get a second guess.
You can have a half point since you got engineer but not optics. So.
Right.
This whole thing is under protest. This is
3.5 to 3. Hey, we'll just get better.
Wow.
Evan,
wow.
You
All right,
have no
ready?
integrity in this game.
In Candyman, how many times must someone say Candyman in a mirror
3.
to summon him? Yes,
It's not medium.
I
I was like waiting for it to get harder. I was like, no, that can't be the question.
All right, 4.5 to 3. All right, here now the hard questions. These are the hard questions.
Okay.
In The Lighthouse, what animal repeatedly torments Robert
Mermaid.
Pattinson's character?
That movie was terrible. I didn't even finish it.
Eat your beans.
That question is hard because you probably didn't finish the movie. Most people.
Mermaid.
In The Lighthouse, Robert Pattinson. Sorry. In The Lighthouse, Robert Pattinson's character is repeatedly tormented by a seagull. Mermaid is not
I should lose
correct.
points for getting it wrong.
4.5, still 4.5 to 3. 3 more questions. In The Night House, what disturbing secret does Beth discover her late husband was hiding?
He was killing other women who resembled her and then burying them to appease like some sort of demonic entity, something like that.
I was going to say a book like the Necronomicon, but
he was building a reversed version of their house and luring women there as a part of an effort to trick and appease a dark entity. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and say that is correct.
Yeah,
Nathan.
you got it. Yeah.
5.5 to 3. All right. You need to get the next 2 right, AJ.
I mean, I should have got some kind of handicap from the beginning, but it's fine.
You got the birthday. We gave you the birthday point.
Because I got it right. It's not like that was some gift you gave me.
In Talk to Me, the teens use what specific object to make contact with
A
others?
hand statue.
Okay. Did you
I got
guys
it.
both say a hand at the same time?
I said it first.
Okay.
I did.
I've never been on the receiving end of AJ's ire.
Replay. Go ahead. Replay it.
Fine.
The fans are cheering for me right now.
All right. Last question. Final question.
Wait, why is it 4 to 5.5? 4.5, right? 4 to 4.5?
5.5 to 4. Nathan
is
has
that right?
5.5. You have 4.
Huh.
All right. In Saint, this question's worth 2 points. All right.
Ooh,
Oh no.
I could win.
In Saint Maud, what profession does Maud hold, which gives her intimate access to her patients?
She's a nurse. In-home nurse.
I don't know that movie.
And the answer is a hospice nurse.
That's a good movie.
Congratulations,
That's a good movie.
You could have done you could have sent us an email and be like, hey, have you guys seen these movies? Because this is what the questions are going to come from.
I'm sorry, AJ. If you lost, you lost.
I'm very bitter.
How it is.
I mean, I kind of expected to lose, but I'm still going to talk trash because it's what I do.
Well,
Especially you, Evan.
well. So thank you again, Nathan, for joining us.
Absolutely.
Again,
We should do another AJ v. Nathan horror trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need some revenge.
We should do that.
AJ's revenge.
We should do that next time one of us comes on your podcast.
Yes. Yes. What you don't want is Reed to play because he will school all of us. He is.
Really?
No. The equivalent doing it on their podcast would be a game quiz. And I get to go against Nathan about board games because he watches every horror movie that comes out. But I probably could win the game.
You could.
So, yeah,
you could.
I'm probably setting myself up and I lose and would be embarrassed. So no, let's not do that.
So, Nathan, tell everybody again where they can find you online, where to listen
Sure.
to you.
It's just thefearofgodpodcast.com. You can find us on, I don't know if it's iTunes these days or Apple Podcasts or whatever it's called, in various social media areas, but the easiest way is thefearofgodpodcast.com. We release every week. We do this year, kind of Halloween is our end of the year, so we will have just a few non-standard episodes in November and December, but we'll reboot right at the middle of January into the whole year. So pretty much weekly, with the exception of a month or two during the year.
Awesome. Thank you again for having us.
Yes.
Thank you for AJ for taking Jamie's place. It was nice to have you, as always.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you for you guys and all y'all do. We're fans. I'll keep showing up if AJ will now have me.
Yeah,
So-
of course. Y'all are great.
For that, thank you to all of our listeners. Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear of Final Goal podcast, and we will be back next month.
See you,
Thanks,
boys.
all.
Thank you.